You're watching the Crypto Market Update with your host, Chris Marshall. Your home for the latest crypto news, reviews, and updates that can be found around the block. If this is your first time here, then we would like to thank you for watching. If you enjoy the show, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone that you believe needs this type of content in their life. Just a reminder, anything discussed on this show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. With that out of the way, let's get on with the show.
Hello, and welcome to your crypto market update. We take a look at the events that have happened throughout the last week and the effect that they've had on the crypto market. I'm your host, Chris Marshall. Today's show, got just a couple stories. Really want to take a look at what's going on in the markets today. I think we're at a pretty crucial time, and we'll go over that here in just a minute. First, let's hear from our sponsors. OTEC, Ocala's Blockchain, Crypto and Technology Innovation Council. If you haven't heard of them and you're in the Ocala area, you need to go check them out. www.facebook.com/Ocala Tech Council. They have meetups throughout the month. One, a public-facing networking event for any tech people or any futurists out there. And then also one that they do some tech education. So go check them out. And then our other sponsor, Customerify.io, www.customerify.io. It's the easiest way to collect user feedback on whatever you got. If it's your app, if it's your SaaS, your website, your restaurant, your contractor servicing, whatever, go check them out at www.customerify.io. Both of the links should be down below. All right, let's move on over to our topics for today. So first, over here at coinmarketcap.com, sitting at 19,621 cryptos with a total market cap just under $1.25 trillion, sitting at $1.214 trillion. 24-hour volume sitting at 102, probably going to be 103 billion by the end of the day. Bitcoin's dominance at 45.8%. And get this, ETH dominance at 18%. I think that's the lowest we've seen since we started doing the stream months ago. Gas is all the way down to 27 Gwei. Not much going on today. All right, let's take a look at some of the top cryptos. Bitcoin, last 24 hours, up just slightly. ETH, we're pretty stagnant for the week, down quite a bit. Most of the other stuff just kind of flat on the day, down for the week. A few exceptions. Polkadot looks to be one of the main exceptions. That just happened in the last little bit here, last couple hours. Anything else really exciting today? Let's see what's going on. Highest gainers, Lido, Curve, Ethereum Classic up just got a little bit. Yeah. Not much exciting. Crypto Fear and Greed Index sitting at 12 today. If you are unfamiliar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, people use that as an indicator when a good time to buy or sell may be. The thinking of the market is when the market is extremely fearful, that may be a good time to buy because we might be at a bottom. And then on the other hand, if the market is overall greedy, the thinking is that might be a good time to sell because we might be at a market top. So use that at your own discretion. Let's take a look at the chart. If you were with me on Monday, we would have covered this specific chart here where we're looking at the correlation between what we had done in this run-up back in April, May, June time, and then the fall where we fell. We formed a bear flag really between May and June here, and then we should have seen a fall all the way down to this about $12,000 level. If you were to take this bear-ish flag pull here, duplicate it down to here, from the top of the flag, right? That's how you draw a bear flag pattern. It should have been about a $12,000 Bitcoin, but we did not see that. Instead, we saw it play around with this $28,000 level and then eventually recover for a new all-time high. And then if we scoot over a little bit, we would have seen that since that all-time high, we formed another bearish flag pattern. And again, if you were to take that flagpole and put it down, we should end somewhere around a $12,000 Bitcoin, but instead we're playing around with this $28,000 level again. It's a different setup, but it's interesting how this $28,000 level keeps giving us a hang up on our way down to where the technical analysis should put us at. So one should be aware of that. Moving forward, let's take a look at Bitcoin and what we're looking at today. As of the last day or two, we started to form a bearish, we got kind of like a soft confirmation that this is a parallel channel. If you've been watching my shows for a while, you know that I like parallel channels. The big difference is we are sitting on this $28,000 level that we've been flirting with for quite a while. And really tight movement right here. Just look at this. Very little way of movement here. And if I had to guess, we would have been forming a bearish pennant, but it's feeling weird. I think what we're either going to see is here in the coming days, maybe by the end of Memorial Day, Monday, coming into Tuesday, maybe we'll see either a final close down below this $29,000 level. Mainly this green level here is where we want to see a close if we're going to drop, or we want to see a break above this red line here. Let's say, I think we need to reclaim and close above the $29,000 level into the $30,000 level would be great. If we could get a good solid daily close above $29,000, $30,000, something like that, I think that'd be a really good sign for at least the mark that this could have been the bottom. Again, I'm not throwing lots of money into it or anything like that. Every day that we sit here, I get more and more anxious to put money into, but I'm trying to be a good little soldier and not put money into a market that I am unsure of. All right, so let's go on over to Ethereum's chart, because we had some stuff happen to Ethereum this week, and it's caused most of the market to really drop. So that $29,000 level that we were looking at on Bitcoin, that correlates to about a 1725 for Ethereum. And so you'll see we've come down and we finally hit it. So this is our second time hitting it. Ethereum performed actually through the last couple weeks better than Bitcoin did in the terms of the resilience, sitting above this support level. Bitcoin flirted with it multiple times, where Ethereum came down, touched it initially, and then shot right back up and stayed above it by a couple hundred, 150, 200 bucks. And then it finally shot down, and we are now on day 2 of touching this support level. And we'll get to why here in a little bit, but I think this is important. This does kind of resemble a parallel channel. You could draw it out a couple different ways. Just kind of draw that out for you real fast here. So we got a little bit of a parallel channel action going on. There's a couple things that this could be. I think it's way too early to tell right now on Ethereum. That's why I really like to watch Bitcoin's chart. The other big thing that we should take note of on the Bitcoin chart is that our RSI has finally broken above the SMA, which typically in its history, when it's done that, we've seen a good little movement up. So every time the purple line down here broke above the yellow line, we'd see a nice little movement up. We haven't seen that since here. Mostly we got some when we initially shot out of this crazy wick down here, down to the $25,000 level. But other than that, we haven't really seen much upward momentum as we've sat above the 14-day SMA. So that's interesting to note as well. Let's move on to some news. The IMF chief begs investors not to shun all crypto after the collapse of Luna UST. So this is pretty interesting. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Basically, if you've been paying attention, the IMF has not been, Bitcoin or any crypto's biggest supporter in the past. And now we have the Chief Kristalina Georgieva. Not exactly sure how to pronounce her last name. Stated this: I would beg you not to pull out of the importance of this world. It offers us all faster services, much lower costs, and more inclusion, but only if we separate apples from oranges and bananas. Basically just saying, like, the entire thing isn't lost just because crypto is down. There's still some good apples in there, which is a positive statement overall, I think, especially coming from a organization who has usually just put out negative statements in this space. So very happy to see that. I'm gonna pull my seat on. There we go. Okay. So new Terra blockchain launch expected Saturday with Luna airdrop to follow. So we are, if you've been following this, if you were in UST or Luna or anything like that during the crash 2 or so weeks ago, probably have heard of Do Kwon's recovery efforts. They're not forking Terra, they're actually building out a whole different blockchain that mirrors the original Terra's blockchain as of the day where it was last pegged at $1. Which is a little bit different. I think it's semantics in my mind, but whatever. So yeah, they are going to begin launching this out, getting it back up, and then people should start receiving their airdrops. Still not exactly sure how it's calculated out, that airdrop. Depending on how much you hold, how much you get. I've seen a couple calculators and I tried to do it. I'm not exactly sure if I did it correctly, so we'll see what I end up getting. But yes, I am looking forward to my airdrop, and I will probably be selling it. We'll find out. We'll see. Now, the big news of the week: Ethereum's liquidation tops 157 million after the merge upgrade test hits a snag. What have we been saying? If you know I'm a miner, I did not think that we were going to be, merging here in August like they thought, and we hit a snag, which is going to delay the merge yet again. Started December 2020, now we're here. So yes, the bears circle crypto and traditional markets. Ethereum has faced the brunt of it. So yeah, that's why we're down really low today, down to the 1770, 1750 range. We're at right now 1761. So what actually happened here? So let's over here. Yeah, perhaps most notable, however, was a recent hang-up related to Ethereum's incoming merge event slated for August. The merge will see the current proof-of-work version of Ethereum merge with the proof-of-stake counterpart. This counterpart is technically called the Beacon Chain and has been in operation since December 2020. Once complete, the proof-of-work-based version will end, effectively making Ethereum a proof-of-stake blockchain network, bringing with it a host of new benefits. On Wednesday, however, the Beacon Chain, a sort of ghost version of Ethereum running parallel to the current Ethereum, experienced a block reorganization event. Such an event means that for a brief moment, the Beacon Chain had been forked. Blocks of transactions were being processed on yet another parallel version of the Beacon Chain, and that lasted for about 7 blocks, or about 2.5 hours, or for about 7 blocks. Yes, so the network began producing blocks uninterrupted, according to Block Explorer. Beacon Chain postmortem is expected soon. But yes, this was a pretty big reorganization. So I pulled up a little thing to just help you understand what this actually was, why it's important. So chain reorganization, deactivating and activating blocks to adopt a new longest chain. So a chain reorganization or reorg takes place when your node receives blocks that are part of a new longest chain. Your node will deactivate blocks in its old longest chain in favor of the new blocks that build the new longest chain. This process allows individual nodes across the network to agree on the same version of the blockchain, because the globally accepted view of the blockchain will always be the one with the longest chain. So what happens, why this happens basically, as transactions get going, because the network is so large and there's so many nodes validating transactions, sometimes we will get blocks that are validated relatively at the exact same time across two different computers. So this computer and this computer both solve the exact same block at the exact same time. They start to share it among the network, and it causes basically the network to be split. And so how they fix that, or so basically what they're doing here is they each want to try to accept this node or this block, but they can't because they already have it accepted in their store. So what they do instead is they wait for the next block to become validated, and whichever chain actually validated the second block in that order would then merge, and the new chain, the people who have the wrong chain, they would end up instead deleting this block and replacing it with this block so that the chain is correct on all devices. So that is a reorg. And it's similar to a fork, but it's handled automatically, so it's nothing you have to really worry about too much. But yeah, so that was the problem. I don't actually understand why this would delay thing. The only thing I can tell is that it's because of the size. Apparently this happens fairly often, but apparently because it's the size and because it is a test chain, there may be some delays in the merge now. So yeah, I'll keep my eyes open for this. Other than that, that's it for today's show. If you enjoyed the show, please drop a like, drop a comment, drop a follow, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. Other than that, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, go check out our sponsors. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know if there's anything I should add, anything I should do differently. I will see you all on next Friday. I'm not going to do it on Monday because that's Memorial Day here in the States. So I probably won't be working on Monday. Next Friday, I will be back here doing a crypto market recap. Take a look at the events that happened throughout next week to tell you what the effect they had on the market over the course of next week. Yeah.